Hello, I'm Jill Pellerin, one of the IB Language and Literature SL teachers. I teach both year one and year two of the course, and I'm happy you stopped by today to learn a little bit more about the class. So, what is IB Language and Literature SL? This is a standard level course where we'll study a wide range of literary and non literary texts and a variety of media. We really study how we communicate with each other, how individuals communicate across literary forms and text types, and how language really impacts the way individuals view themselves and their culture, and how it influences us. We do have some literary text requirements from the IB. We must study two forms. In this case, we'll be studying a drama by Arthur Miller, The Crucible, and our prose fiction will be Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's Purple Hibiscus. We cover two literary time periods and two countries. We've got the USA and Nigeria. For the non literary text requirements, we'll be listening to some podcasts. We study some art. We'll be looking at music videos, some little bit of clips from movies and TV shows. We will watch a full length movie. We'll study some photography by Lauren Greenfield and understand how choices made by photographers impact the way the viewers see them. We'll also be reading a graphic novel, studying political cartoons, and looking at speeches and essays. So, the main difference between IB Language and Literature and IB Literature, for one thing, the literature course at South Lakes is an HL course, so that's higher level. That means they read more texts. They're doing a lot more reading at home on their own time, and they're moving very quickly through the material. Because our class is standard level, we have fewer texts that we are expected to cover, but also this is 50% literary and 50% non literary. We spend a lot more time with the books that we're reading, and we pair them with the non-literary texts. So we'll be studying cartoons alongside the study of the Crucible. We learn a little bit about Reston history and the maps and how this community was formed, and we relate that to Salem and the Puritans. It's a really fun combination of the two courses. So anybody can take IB Language and Literature. One of the things I love about the course is it's very accessible to all students. If you enjoy reading and talking and understanding both literary and non-literary, then this is the class for you. We will write and we will do some analysis, but it's also very much discussion heavy. We do a lot of projects and presentations and formal and informal discussions. It really allows you to think about yourself in the world and the stuff that you're reading and understand how everything is kind of connected and related. There are 3 IB assessments associated with this course. The first one is done in the first year. So this one will be done in April of 2025. This is the individual oral, and this is required to move on to year 2 of the course. In year 2, students will do paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 is the non-literary analysis about a text that they have not seen before, where they'll be responding to a guiding question. And paper 2 is a literary analysis based on 2 books that they've read over the 2 years in the class. They're given 4 guiding questions, and they choose one to write about. Both of those, paper 1 and paper 2, we prepare heavily in class for those, so students enter those exams ready to go. For the individual oral, which takes place in the junior year, students are expected to speak for 10 minutes. They first create a global issue that's tied to one of the literary works that we've studied, and we work through this global issue together, and students talk about this, and it's a process that they create. They choose one of the texts that we've read, and they choose their global issue, and they discuss how that global issue relates to a passage from the text. Then they're going to speak for 5 minutes about how that global issue also connects to one of the non-literary texts that we've read. Students may talk about one of the cartoons from Herb Block, or either video or photography from Lauren Greenfield's Generation Wealth, or they might choose screenshots from Into the Spider-Verse. To be honest, many students do choose that option because they connect it well to Purple Hibiscus. Plus, it's fun to discuss graphic film in something like a IB exam. The last 5 minutes of the individual oral gives students an opportunity to answer questions that are brought up by the teacher. So in this assessment, it's just the teacher and the student with a recording in front of them, and they are going to talk about how the teacher might ask them questions to help them expand on their answers, or ask them to clarify their argument or explain something that might have been unclear, to bring out a little bit more from the student. So why should students take IB Language and Literature? It's a really fun class for both teachers and students. There's a lot of room and flexibility to explore and analyze different forms of media. No two classes are the same, no 2 years are the same, even though we might be studying some of the same texts. It changes depending on the students in the class. And it contextualizes both classic and modern works of literature from a variety of different time periods and cultures. We also, because we study so many different perspectives, it helps students analyze the rhetoric and the intentions of authors. They become more intelligent readers in all aspects of their life. And even authors that they may not agree with personally, they're able to start to understand other people's perspectives on issues. There's a lot of flexibility also in the assignments that we create, and within the class discussions. And students who come back from college who have taken this class often share how this prepared them for their college classes, not just the English classes. It allowed them to really think critically about the media that they're consuming, about what they're reading, and they're able to really articulate their new perspectives. But it's best to hear it from a student. So I'd like to introduce you to Zoya.
One thing that I enjoy about IB Language and Literature is that we don't only look at literary texts, but also analyze non-literary material such as photographs to understand how different works come together to shape our perspective on the world.
All right, there you've heard it from a student. Please reach out if you have any questions. And again, it's Jill Pellerin, J-E Pellerin at fcps.edu. Thank you.